Chapter 10. In the first punch, Lu Yu did not use any augmentation skills, not even the crushing punch. With a bare fist, he landed one punch on the testing stone. The monitoring device beside him jumped rapidly and finally displayed 1,599 kilograms. When Lu Yu saw the results, he was quite satisfied. After refining the last of the Aquila poultry meat, his strength had increased by quite a bit. This figure had already exceeded the evaluation criteria of the test by a lot. Normally, as long as the strength of one punch could reach anywhere below 1,000 kilograms, one would be considered a martial arts warrior. Lu Yu directly hit 1,599 kilograms. His strength had reached the martial arts warrior grade 9 level. The tester knew Lu Yu. He remembered that during the test last year, he was only slightly over 1,000 kilograms and barely managed to maintain his status of a grade 1 martial arts warrior. Why did his strength advance instead of regressing within this 1 year, going from grade 1 to grade 9 martial arts warrior? The tester couldn't believe his eyes. His face full of surprise. Is the machine broken? The tester went forward to examine the testing stone and monitoring device. Not too far away, Zhang Hong saw this and said with a smile, "The testing equipment must be broken." Lu Yu, do you really think that you can reach the martial arts warrior grade 9 at your age? Stop dreaming. If you can maintain your martial arts warrior grade 1 status, you can count your lucky stars. At this moment, the tester had finished examining the tester apparatus but did not find any problems. Strange, why didn't I find any problems? The tester was somewhat puzzled. As for Lu Yu, he punched out again. 1,601 kilograms. Lu Yu wanted to test his limits. After obtaining the critical hit enhancement skill, he had no chance to try out his greatest strength level yet. He activated the Great Tao Heaven Devouring skill, and his inner strength skill received a terrifying increase. Lu Yu's entire aura changed. At the same time, he activated the furnace skill and ignited his health vitality. His strength doubled, and his muscles bulged. Finally, Lu Yu turned on his critical hit enhancement skill. As long as he used his full strength, the punch would receive a boost. The amount of increase then depended on the situation and luck. Lu Yu circulated his energy into his dantian to use the crushing punch. His simple and unadorned punch flashed out and landed on the testing stone. Under the enhancement of so many skills, the punch force actually increased by 40 times. The testing stone trembled violently, and the monitoring device beside it displayed 64,040 kilograms. What the F***CK? What's going on? The tester beside him was shocked and in utter disbelief. He rubbed his eyes and took a closer look. It was indeed this unbelievable number. More than 60,000 kilograms meant that he had the ability of an intermediate martial master. Old Lu was only a grade 1 martial arts warrior last year, and was on the verge of being demoted to an ordinary person. How could he have reached the level of an intermediate martial master within a year? The tester couldn't believe it no matter how hard he thought. He wanted to ask Lu Yu for details. However, at this moment, Lu Yu was sitting cross-legged at one side, with his eyes closed in deep thought. The full-strength punch just now had somewhat enlightened Lu Yu. Opportunities for enlightenment were extremely rare, so Lu Yu quickly grasped them and began to experience them in detail. The tester was extremely surprised to see that Lu Yu seemed to have gained enlightenment. In the eyes of every martial arts warrior, an epiphany was extremely rare and hard to come by. Every time they experienced enlightenment, it almost always led to an increase in many aspects of their abilities. As for Lu Yu, he was already 90 years old. But he was still able to gain sudden enlightenment. Wasn't this too unbelievable? Not far away, Zhang Hong said, "There must be a problem with the testing equipment. Ask the technical staff and they will soon find out." Zhang Hong's words roused the tester to his senses. That was true. If he wanted to know if the testing equipment was malfunctioning or if the results were accurate, he could just look for a technician to find out. The tester then located a technician and started checking the equipment. Not far away, Zhang Hong was gloating as he waited. This Lu Yu. Not only has his strength regressed, he also broke the testing machine. Doesn't that mean he has to compensate them? This is killing me. He lost his allowance and still has to pay up. How miserable. The few technicians were stunned when they saw the ridiculous number on the screen. They quickly checked the equipment carefully. However, after a careful examination, they did not find any problem. The machine was functioning perfectly well. However, they still found it hard to believe and continued to examine the equipment carefully. In the end, after several rounds of careful inspection, they still couldn't find any problems. The testing equipment was functioning perfectly, and the numbers displayed were also completely correct. Eventually, the technicians could only tell the tester that there was nothing wrong with the device. The numbers on it should be completely accurate. When the tester heard them, he was totally flabbergasted. Looking at Lu Yu, who was not far away, the tester finally noticed something different. Although Lu Yu still had a head full of white hair, most of the wrinkles on his face had disappeared. He looked even more vigorous and powerful, without the slightest trace of his old frail appearance. On the contrary, Lu Yu, even with his eyes closed, was giving off an invisible pressure. This was the effect brought about by possession of great strength. Amidst the shock, the tester gradually believed the results. In the past, he had also heard that some martial arts warriors achieved their awakening very late. Previously, their strength had always been mediocre. They only awakened successfully when they were older. Then, their strength would rapidly increase until they become strong experts. He had heard of people who had awakened late, but this was the first time the tester had seen such a person with his own eyes. To awaken at such an old age and at the age of 90 no less, when he practically had one foot in his grave, was extremely surprising. At this moment, the tester was extremely shocked, but he could tell that Lu Yu was in the middle of enlightenment and didn't dare to disturb him. Earlier, the tester's show of respect for Lu Yu was purely out of deference for his elders, and admiration for Lu Yu in that he had also participated in the Holy War. Right now, as the tester gazed at Lu Yu, the respect and fear displayed was in awe of his abilities and strength. Thinking of how he had doubted Lu Yu's test results, the tester was immediately overcome with regret. How could he be so disrespectful to an intermediate martial master? How could he sully his reputation in this way? Intermediate martial masters were the elites of the Federation. They would be respected wherever they went. The tester made up his mind that he would apologize sincerely to Lu Yu when he was done with his enlightenment. He must show his repentance clearly and not leave a bad impression on this intermediate martial master. On the other side, Zhang Hong waited for a while. When he saw that the technicians had come and checked several times before leaving, but the tester still did not show any reaction, he immediately went forward and asked with curiosity. "Testing officer, what's going on? Why hasn't the truth been announced?" The tester looked at Lu Yu with a face full of respect. Without turning his head, he said softly, "Wait a moment, the truth will be announced soon." Zhang Hong took a look at the time and said impatiently, "This fellow Lu Yu hasn't even finished testing his strength yet. What a waste of time. He's already delayed me from bringing my grandson to lunch. Forget it, I won't wait to see him make a fool of himself. I'm leaving." With that, Zhang Hong prepared to leave with his grandson. At this moment, Zhang Hong heard the extremely respectful and even fearful voice of the tester coming from behind him. "Greetings, Honorable Martial Master. You're awake." Chapter finished. See you all in the next chapter.